guys, it's Miss Checka. I'm in my backyard again because I did say that today, Tuesday, we would do some gardening stuff. And Tess had asked for it in her letter, so I hope that she comes. So let's do this. Number one, let me say that I'm getting some sprinkles. So if it starts like raining, I'm gonna have to go inside. So first things first. Oh, there's Tess. Hi, Tess. Hi, Monse. Hi, Christian. So first things first is when I was grabbing stuff to come outside, I thought, I cannot be wearing my chanclas. I'm wearing chanclas right now. These are chanclas, right? You don't want those if you get in trouble. I need to go get my garden boots because what happens if there's thorns or my backyard is wild. So I went to go get these boots and it made me think a little bit. So these are my garden boots. But these kinds of garden boots, they're rain boots, right? And they have two different names. So some people call these rain boots. So I guess that's 1, 3. Some people call them galoshes. But in England, they call these wellies, right? So if you say you're going to put your wellies, you're going to put these kinds of boots on. And while I'm talking, I'm going to actually put them on. So that my feet don't get eaten up by ants. And welly stand for Wellington. So right before starting this video, I was like, I wonder where that name came from. And it turned out to be an interesting little historical tidbit. And the reason I was so curious is because there's a very, very famous Wellington. So it turns out that these boots are based off of Hessian boots. Hessian boots, so Hessian. So in the American Revolution, there were lots of German soldiers that came to fight with the colonists against England. And they were called the Hessians. And they wore these like real tall leather boots. Oh, there's Paul. Hi, Paul. So the Duke of Wellington wanted some special Hessians, but he had them in his own style. And his were not out of rubber. These are out of rubber. His were out of leather. But the thing that is famous about the Duke of Wellington is he fought against Napoleon and was defeated by him. So anyway, my garden boots have an interesting history. So Paul, I know that you're wanting to do holes, but we decided Tuesday was going to be our day in the gardens. We're going to look at some garden stuff. So, all right, guys, I'm just going to update you on a few things. So last week we were talking about zinnias and we looked at zinnias. Oh, here's Allison. Yay. I haven't seen Alice in a long time. That's very exciting. Okay, so we're doing garden stuff. And first thing is I thought we'd just see a little update on all of our little plant friends. So here is something. So this is the prickly pear that I had told you about, I guess 2 weeks ago. And we had said, remember that prickly pear in Spanish is called a nopal, and it had a history to it, it's on the Mexican flag, so on and so forth. Well, the way that you propagate them is that you cut off one of the leaves, which you call a pad, you just put it in dirt. Well, this is mine, and I can't pull him out anymore because he has nice big roots. But look, something is coming out. So I don't know if this is going to make a prickly pear or if this is going to make another pad or what. But, every day I kind of look at it and it's very exciting. Y'all, I keep looking up because there's a cardinal who's being very sassy with another cardinal. I don't know if you can hear all of these bird sounds, but they are oh, there's a blue jay now. There is some bird drama. I just don't know. Okay. So that was one plant. I didn't bring any zinnias to show you because honestly, I planted most of them. I'm going to show you 3 plants that look kind of the same, but they have different qualities. So this is what I mean. If you look at just the flower, they look very similar. But this one is impatience, and it grows in the shade. So it doesn't like hot. It likes shade. So if you have a backyard or a window that doesn't get a whole lot of light, then you put impatience. This is the opposite, even though it looks very similar. So this is called a vinca, and vinca flowers are really pretty, and they grow in kind of like the bud is a spiral. So when it opens up, it kind of opens up in a spiral, but they love the sun. They like to be in full sun. And in fact, they're very drought tolerant. So they're good if you live in a very, very hot, dry place like I do, you know, in Texas. This plant is not in very good shape because I forgot to water him this week. A mockingbird? Yeah. So this plant I want to show you just because I think that this is interesting. So this is an impatiens. This is a New Guinea impatiens. So these flowers are the same flower, but kind of cousins of each other. So if you see, the flower looks exactly the same because it is the same kind of flower, but these leaves are deeper green. It's kind of more lush and tropical. And that is because, you know, they are from New Guinea, which is a much, much more like a tropical place, right? So this is one of the like fun tricks that biology does, is that plants and animals will both adapt to their environment. So just like, you know, like normal foxes are bright red, but if you live in the Arctic and you're a fox and you're bright red, you're going to get eaten right away. Well, then in the Arctic, they have white foxes that can blend in with the snow. Well, just like that, the same species of flower in two different places will adapt and change and evolve to have different qualities to adapt to that place. So I'm doing like a little experiment in my backyard to see if like this kind of impatiens or this kind of impatiens is going to like North Texas more. We'll see. And then the birds have calmed down. What if they start organizing? I just don't know. It makes me nervous. So the very first time that we talked about gardening, we talked about propagations in cuttings. Oh, Tess. Yeah, no, you tell your grandpa not to shoot the mockingbird. So this originally, no problem, Paul. We'll do holes tomorrow. So this was originally a cutting, and now you can see that it's making lots and lots and lots of little vines on top of each other. So like this was originally one vine, and now it has this guy coming out, it has this guy coming out, and right here are these like little baby shoots, and then this guy. This is like a really funny plant, and I stole it from my mom's garden. I mean, with her permission. But I wanted to know, like, does this propagate? Because it's a succulent. And it turns out that, like, yes, it does. But I could not figure out how on earth is this going to propagate? Because usually with succulents, you know, it makes like the leaves make little tiny leaves. But here I have, and this frog, it's propagating. So here's a little guy, here's a little guy. And look, that's how he's propagating. He's making a little exact copy of himself coming right out of there. But isn't that just a strange and funny looking plant? To me, it looks like churros, like that I would have with hot chocolate with cinnamon. So here is this guy. So I guess if I wait long enough, he's just going to make an entire like twin of himself. So that's kind of fun. So that's like propagation update, and you know, just learning about some new plants. It's a little hard always to show the vegetables because I'm kind of pointing the laptop, but I'm going to show you what is going on because there have been some changes. All right, so let's start with this one right here. Okay, so first of all, I want to know, is anybody growing stuff at home? Because I love to know what everybody is growing at home. All right. So right here, this vine right here, tiny pumpkins. This is a pumpkin vine, but oh yeah. I love churros too. This is going to be not normal size pumpkin, but teeny tiny pumpkins, because I think that would be very hilarious. And they come first in this like big yellow flower. So first is going to make this yellow flower, and then you can see one of them kind of down here. I don't know if you can see where my hand is, but it's already making a little tiny baby pumpkin, which is exciting. I might have planted these too early because I was just over eager. Wait, Tess, you don't like churros? I just don't know about that. All right, this right here is not a vegetable. This is a marigold, and lots of people put marigolds in. Mons is growing her zinnia. Yay, okay, that's exciting. That's exciting. So that's why I have a marigold plant right in the middle of my vegetables. But if you're planting vegetables and they're getting eaten up by insects, one way is to plant a little marigold. Okay, and then right here behind me has gotten so tall. Those are the potatoes. And on the first video, they were like this tall, and now they're like this tall. So they're growing and growing and growing, but all I can see growing is the leaves because, of course, the potatoes themselves are growing underneath the ground. And then last in this bed are the tomatoes, which are finally starting to turn a little red. So let me see if I can get it. All right. So there's not a lot left because I have been eating that broccoli, and it's delicious. Allison is saying it's like a caterpillar. Allison, listen, this broccoli that I picked, I got so excited to roast it, and I rinsed it and I put it in like a pan, and I was putting salt on it. And then all of a sudden I was like, looks like that broccoli leaf is waving at me. And it's because it wasn't a broccoli leaf. It was a caterpillar. There were 3 caterpillars, and I almost ate them. It was very traumatizing. But now I know that instead of rinsing my vegetables, I like soak them. But here you go. You can see, well, I hope you can see, this is the broccoli, and delicious. But, you know, the peppers, there's not a whole lot to see because I just gave my mom a pepper that I grew yesterday. But you can see how tall they're getting and that there's little baby ones coming out. And then in the background, those are more tomato plants, but those are cherry tomatoes. Okay. And then the last ones to show you. Okay. This right here is lettuce. So this is one of the plants that we talked about that is good to grow like on the International Space Station, because you can just cut it and it grows back, and cut it and it grows back. That lettuce is not going to last a whole long time though, because lettuce is a cool weather plant. So pretty soon it's going to get too hot for it. And then over here, I don't know if I can capture them in this camera angle. So this vine right here looks almost exactly like the pumpkin vine. So you've got these big leaves, and they're kind of crunchy. Can you hear that? Because they're covered in tiny kind of spiky hairs, and they have a yellow flower just like the pumpkin. So you can tell that they're related. But this yellow flower is a lot smaller. And then it has these little curly guys that come out. And that's what helped the vine climb and hold on to things. And then, if you can see, here's a little tiny baby cucumber. And it's covered in these. So the way that it grows is that the flower comes out and it gets pollinated. So like an insect, a butterfly, maybe a bee will land on one and eat the pollen, and then land on another. And when it does that, it pollinates the plant. And after the plant is pollinated, it makes a flower. And when the flower dies, that's when the fruit comes. So the cucumber vines are filled right now with like little tiny baby cucumbers that are this big, but they just need sunshine because it's a warm weather summer plant, and then they'll grow full size. So that is the garden update. Who has questions or wants to see stuff or wants to share stuff? Let me see. Oh, here's Allison with the caterpillar. Okay, Tess wanted one, but I don't remember which vegetable we were talking about there. Let's see. Allison says she does not have a green thumb, which I just don't believe. I think, Allison, that if you just learn the personality of your plants, then you know when it's talking to you and it's telling you, I want more water or less water or more sunshine or less sunshine, etc. Oh, Tess wants the tomatoes. You guys know I don't like tomatoes, but I'm very excited about these ones because it's taken so long. So I don't know what I'm going to do with them. Maybe I'm going to make like a sauce with them. So does anybody have any questions on gardening stuff? Okay, if you guys do not have questions, then I'll tell you the last thing that I have decided that I'm going to plant. I'm real nervous about it, but I've decided that I'm going to plant some corn. And the reason that I am nervous about it is because I love corn, but so do all of the birds and animals. I'm a little worried that they're going to like, they're going to. You have a caterpillar? I'm going to need to know all about this caterpillar. All right. So Tessa's grandparents are growing a lot. That's good. Monse has a caterpillar. I'm scandalized. And I am attempting to grow corn this year, but I might have to like make a scarecrow or something to scare away the birds and the squirrels so that they don't eat it. So that is all the gardening stuff. And if nobody has any questions, then I think we're done for the day. And then tomorrow we can start up on the next chapter in holes. So I always have a really fun time with you guys in the garden. And I hope next time we have a garden one, I have more delicious fruits and vegetables and beautiful flowers to show you. So bye guys.